Hello again there, Arcade1up fans. Brian here. Thank you for joining me. This video is a showcasing of my completed cosmetic mod updates on my Attack from Mars Arcade1up pinball cabinet. I've had this cabinet now for 3 years. I did some modding back in 2021 when I first bought this cabinet. Got it for $540 at the time. That was a pretty good sale from Best Buy. And since that time, I did some mods in the beginning, but I always wanted to put a 32-inch model in it. I had an idea for a topper and a couple other little additional things to put on here. So without further ado, I'm going to get right into it. If you're new to this video, thank you for joining. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you do enjoy this. And I'm going to start off this video by coming in the front here. This is the mod that everybody eventually started doing. I jumped on this part right away, and I bought this 3 years ago. I wanted to get the coin buttons installed, getting rid of those white buttons and the white switches. Unfortunately, the arcade buttons I bought at the time for the coin slots, they're not the correct image, and I didn't realize that until like a year later. Just little details you don't pay attention to. They do sell the actual ones. Retro530 has them on Etsy and his website, and I did reach out to him asking if he'd just sell me the graphic or just the buttons himself, because I already have the wire harness for those of you who are familiar with it. He never got back to me, which I was surprised. So one day I'll get these replaced, but I've had these now for some time. Had to get the launch ball button right away, of course, instead of that red button. The start button that you're seeing here, I routed this out at the time, and they do sell these green buttons with the start logo on them, and there's a little textured cover around it. It's the actual pinball ones. At the time when I was trying to purchase it, it was on eBay. It had a different voltage light bulb or something, and I was asking the guy if you think it would work. I don't know. The guy who was selling it wouldn't sell me the button because it was for the Arcade1up, not a real pinball machine. I don't know why at the time. So I ended up just making my own. This is just a regular green button. I bought black lettering stickers that I put on the inside to get that start button. And it was functional at the time. I had it spliced into the A button down here. So they both worked as A buttons with the original Arcade1up PCB. I was able to press start when the game was ready to go, and then use the ball launcher button to play. So that was really fun. The switches, I had to replace the white ones with black. These are from the Burger Time Arcade1up cabinet. I always felt the black on the Burger King cabinet didn't look right, and the white looks much better on that cabinet, so I swapped these out. The volume and power lettering, I just used Sharpie. Looks bad up close, but from a distance you don't see it. I even went as far as getting some yellow masking tape, trying to extend the lines on here. You can see this has now been on here for 3 years. It's been getting rubbed off from me playing. I just gotta redo that piece. This is still on there pretty well. Never got around to doing the red ones, and actually I have red tape and I still keep forgetting to do it. So that is the front. You can see there, has a nice clean look. Just eventually one day get the correct 25-cent logo buttons that look like the real arcade ones. Also, this coin door, we all know, is not exactly like the original arcade. The two coin slots should be next to each other over here. But, you know, it's the next best thing. Going back to where I have the yellow tape here, you'll notice that you don't see the silver trim, the metallic trim. There's a little bit right there. I didn't put the tape all the way up. But the original Attack from Mars pinball cabinet did not have silver trim all over it. It was all black, except for just the lockdown bar and the side rails. So I went and used black masking tape. I still stand by the masking tape. Works great. Buy it at Walmart. It's like almost $3. Stays on. It's got a really nice texture to it. You can see there. And I put this on those front 2 lines. I have it here on the sides. You can see here, I covered up with all the silver as much as possible, all the way around the top. And you know, from a distance, has that nice black back box look and the front. Too much silver at the time. Didn't like it. Definitely like the black much better. I know they had the remaster version out of Attack from Mars where they have the green. That might be fun to do. I do have some green one. I had to find some type of taping to put over the lockdown bar. But that could be a little fun touch to add to it. So after the masking tape, now a whole lot I need to do to this cabinet because Arcade1up did a really nice job on recreating this one, be as close as possible. I'm much happier with this cabinet versus the Star Wars and the Marvel cabinets because on theirs, on the side panels there, they had the big Zen logo on them. And this is just all clean by itself the way it should be. Down below, I added the pivot hinge detail that, you know, on the real pinball machines that enables it to pivot forward. So all I did here was, this is actually black foam board. And this is the stuff that comes in all our Arcade1up boxes. I save it all because it's been used quite a bit. I even got the little screw cover. I added a little Sharpie marker over it just to give it like there's some reflection off of it from the top. From the light. Really nice touch. Really fun. I've been wanting to do this for the longest time. Never got around to it. I do have it on both sides here. Really fun. I got it placed exactly where it should be. It does cover part of the side rails, and it's just held on by masking tape, so I can usually pull it off. Masking tape is great with these arcades. It doesn't pull the original artwork. It sticks on. Once it sticks, it stays. Just make sure you clean the surface before you stick it. But yeah, it's a really fun little detail I like. You can see from the side there, it looks great. Actually, I just did that last night. Kept the original red buttons, but these aren't the Arcade1up stock buttons. They are leaf switch buttons. Actually, I forgot. I gotta get a piece of black tape and cover up the screw hole now, because where I used to live, this side of the cabinet was blocked by a wall. So I'll cover up that screw. Because yeah, on this side I got it covered. No screw hole there. Screw holes never really bother me though. People buy those screw caps. I don't know. I had the extra piece and I did cover that one. So moving up to the DMD area. This was a fun project. I did this way back after a couple months when I first bought the cabinet. I never cared for the super glossy look, and I realized that the original design was not like the Williams table. Took off the circle grill covers. Again, they had, I think they're silver framed. I don't remember anymore. I don't even know where they are. But the original glossy plexi is still behind this. But what I did was I found some black cardstock that has a texture to it. I got an example right here. I was making a couple of them at the time. This one's different though. This one is more just a flat. There's no texture to it. I didn't really care for that look. The one I have on here is a little more textured. You can see there. It's got some nice bump grooves to it. And it goes nicely with the tape itself. But yeah, so I basically just looked at the original design. The DMD, now we know on the DMDs with the original Arcade1up PCB board, the DMD is letterboxed like this. So in the original design it is a longer piece. I made a slot for the Bally logo that I purchased on eBay way back. I remember throwing that out on the Facebook groups telling everyone, you gotta get this thing, it's like $5, it's an awesome detail. Guy printed out 3D printed, it already came silver, and they are still on there for anybody looking for this, and it just screws right into the bottom screw hole right here. The speaker grill covers are from a pinball website, Pinball Parts, which I'll put in the link below. And they're just taped on the back. Everything's taped on the back using masking tape. So I got those grill covers on the back here, covering right over the holes. This is the design. I even made two different sizes because I wasn't sure if the first one I had the speaker grills a little smaller, and they were too small. You can see there. This was a much better size that you see, more like the original. I'm actually thinking I might put these out for sale. Make a couple of these. I don't know. We'll see. if I can mail them out properly so they don't get messed up. But now I am running this machine off the Intech Nintendo Switch device. And for those of you that own that device know that the DMD does not work. It's, we have to play it with up here in the corner. So this was always just a blank screen, and I'd turn the screen off because it's not usable. But I wanted to fill that space, and again, I did this mod last night too before making this video. I found an image on Google. I looked up DMDs for Attack from Mars. I chose this one, the Super Jets. Printed it out in color. I put some clear duct tape over it, and I just taped it on the back. And it was perfect size. It was a 5x7 print, fit to the page, and I just cut it to fit, taped it on. So now I have a permanent static image of a DMD scene, which is a nice little touch. It's better than looking at a blank screen there. How often are we really staring at this DMD when we're playing? We're keeping our eye on the ball in our play field. So that was exciting putting that in here. I know one day if I ever do a PC build, I'm gonna have to change this grill cover and make it the larger screen, and I'll just trace this exact design I have here and open this up to make it larger. I even got the little line detail here. You can see here, I scored the cardboard because on the original Williams DMD cover, it has this outline that's indent, curves inward a little bit. And yeah, I even put that little effect on there too. This was really fun. And this is just held in place by the 2 screws, and I have masking tape on the back. I was going to use double-sided tape, but I didn't have any at the time, and this masking tape has been holding it in place just fine. But lately you can see here it's not flush anymore. So I'm probably going to get some double-sided masking tape to get that on there so it's in place much better. But it's seamless inside there from a distance. Looks great. I got that static image for the DMD. Does not fade when you look up or down. Come to that DMD. This DMD screen monitor is actually pretty great. All they had to do though was just angle it up just a little bit because everyone thought it was faded. If you were to be down more eye level, the colors are fine. It's kind of like the Arcade1up cabinets from the left to right screen that weren't the BOE monitors. It fades out. So that's the DMD cover. A lot of fun. These grills are just plastic too, just thin plastic grills. Moving up to the Topper. Another project that I've had on hold for almost 2 years. I finally did it with this completion of this cabinet. This is based off the remastered Topper that was done to the Attack from Mars, where this was an animatronic. This thing would shake and bounce around, the eyes would light up, the flying saucer would blink. I found this image on Google, was able to size it at Kinko's, print it out. I think I paid maybe $8 for this print. I don't remember anymore. Now the image I found on Google is pixely up close. It is not a clear image. I found 2 the same. This one was the best one. But we're not sitting there staring at it. From a distance, it looks awesome. Right now, it's not lit up. I do plan to put I have these LEDs back here that you're seeing. These are going to actually get placed in certain positions for this thing, just to have it light up in certain areas, like the actual one. I'm thinking these beams will light up. I definitely like this idea of having one by the eye, behind both eyes. I have let's see, I can get that right there. I can get the eyes lighting up by themselves. I'll have to put some black masking tape to cover other LEDs I don't want covered. I'm gonna put one by the flasher right here, so that only that would flash. Oh, it's gonna be great. All of those spots, maybe a window point here and there, just little pinpoints I'm gonna have on here where it lights up. Make that come to life even more. Be a nice touch. And what I did to this graphic is I stuck it to a piece of a flexible plexi. I bought a $5 frame from Walmart, a 16 by 20 frame, because this image is 19 inches long. I'll put the exact dimensions down for anybody who wants to find this image on Google. And I'll put that in the link too and do the same. And I'm using the brackets that were on the inside of this cabinet that I didn't need anymore because I put in a 32-inch monitor. But yeah, came out nice. And then I used my Dremel and I just cut out the rest of the plexi because this was a rectangle way up here. And the plexi was cheap. It was all scuffed up and I didn't need that extraness. So I just used my Dremel and carved it out with the shape of the design. Left a little frame around it. I thought, I did it fast. I didn't take too much time on it. Again, it's from a distance. It looks pretty clean. But yeah, now we got the topper. I can't wait to get that lit up. And I'll do a little short video on how it looks lit up. And I have it to the music setting so it reacts to sounds. I guess you could call this a next cosmetic mod. I originally had a reverse image of this back glass art because Arcade1up's image is cut off about right here. And I hated that. So I was able to have that image, and I showed that in the previous video for anybody that's been following me. I wasn't going to do this monitor, but I had this monitor that I bought for a PC build one day. I was like, why not do it with the Intech mod? Because I discovered that you can do different back glass art if you use an Apple 4K TV device or a media device, which I bought a media player device. I found static images online, but I also found out I wanted the animated ones because some of them light up. And so I went with the monitor, I installed that, and I'm just using a Google Chromecast for now. So the one image you're seeing here is through YouTube, and it's just looping, repeating the image. That's what I got for that one right now. So that's a fun upgrade for a cosmetic mod. So for each game that I play, I can have the different back glass art to match the playfield. Cosmetically, larger screen, fantastic. I highly recommend you doing this. It can be done with the Intech mod, which I'll talk about in a different video. And one last thing I'd like to talk about with this cabinet that isn't on the cabinet itself, but I bought a rug that goes with this cabinet. Now Mars Attacks is not related at all to this cabinet. And now I can't remember. One of these, the game or the movie, came out first. I want to say cabinet came out first, but Mars Attacks has been around since the 60s with the trading cards. But I found this at Spirit Halloween Shop, so I thought it was a good add-on. I am playing on the floor. It's cold, and it's a nice touch. Colors match the cabinet. Awesome looking little rug. Invaders welcome. Mars Attacks. Attack from Mars. And then I threw in a little flare of the LED lights there. I'm going to talk about that in my next video on some of the hardware that I installed on this cabinet with the Intech device. As for cosmetic mods, that is about it. I had one cosmetic detail that I could not complete due to the sizing of the image, and that is these side panels. I really wanted to have the full image of the side panel because it's cut off down here by the alien head. I got the image on Google, a perfect one. And just so you know that the fuzziness of this image is accurate. That's how it is on the original arcade. A lot of people thought that should be clear like everything else, but it's correct. It just doesn't fit. This is I think 19¼ tall, 6 inches wide at the bottom, 6.5 to just this point because it curves in a little bit. We stretched out the image to fit this piece and discovered, I went to Kinko's again, that the printout will give me the exact same thing as this one. The alien head will be cut off, it'll be zoomed in more, wasn't gonna work. So that was a big bummer. I couldn't get the actual image. I was looking forward to getting those cover up. I think the only way to get the full image is to take these side panels off and make the actual shape, which actually I would like to do one day, and I can get the correct full image for this cabinet. But as for everything else, that is it for cosmetic details. Really enjoy this cabinet. Fun design. Love doing the mods. Making it look as close to the original as possible. Especially the pivot hinges. That was a fun extra detail. And they can just pull right off. No problem. when I need to move them to take the side rails off. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this inspires anybody to enhance the look of their cabinet if they like to keep their cabinets looking more like the original in the 3/4 scale. As I said, I will put a description and a link below of how I did a lot of this stuff. I'll put the Google image for this guy, where you can get the coins if anybody hasn't done this yet. This cabinet's been around for a while, so I know a lot of people have done stuff already, but never too late if you haven't. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe and like button if you enjoyed this video. And my next video you will see, we'll talk about the hardware updates I've made to this and how I got the in-tech Nintendo Switch device to work with the 32-inch monitor and a couple of little bonus things to enhance the gameplay. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys soon.